Hi everyone, welcome to episode number 6, and we're going to be talking about primers for your face, your eyes, your lips, your lashes. So stay tuned and you're going to find out some more about how I put this makeup on. So stay tuned. Hi everyone, so this week we're talking about primers, and there are several different primers you can use on your face in order to make your makeup work and work longer than maybe you're used to. So I'm going to go through several different primers in the process of putting my makeup on. You may have noticed I am not wearing any makeup right now. As you can see, I am working towards that beautiful glowing complex that I want here. Like I said, I'm working on it with certain dermatology type things like for my rosacea, but then also keeping a consistent skincare routine is going to help keep my skin at its healthiest. Eventually I'm going to get to that point where I'm going to be able to go out and about maybe without any foundation and feel completely comfortable, but in the meantime I've got makeup, and that's one of the wondrous things about it. So what we're going to do to start, I actually learned somewhere that it's best if you put your eye makeup on first and then put your foundation on. Reason being that if you mess up your eyes then and getting stuff all over your cheeks, that you're not causing a bigger problem to your foundation. Now you're having to wipe off your foundation in places and trying to get it all back on, and it just makes it easier apparently to do your eyes first and then add your foundation afterwards. So the first primer I'm going to show you guys is a eye primer. So the point of using an eye primer is obviously to make your eyeshadows last longer. So with an eye primer, you're just going to use a little bit. Put a little bit on, get some light here. A little bit on your eyelids, and then just kind of blend it in using one of your other fingers up into the brow bone area. Alright, so once that dries, then we're going to add on our eyeshadows. So now the eyeshadows I use are ones that can last for 12 hours at a time. But one of the big benefits of using an eye primer is that whenever you use an eye primer, one, of course, it makes your eye makeup last longer, but two, it gives the color of your eyeshadows their most truest form. So there's a lot of times that people will show you striping, and I'll show a picture of that on my blog too. But you get these stripes put down on your hand while you're using an eyeshadow, and then right next to it you'll see that somebody has swiped it with a little bit of eye primer and then shown the same colors on there, and you'll get a much richer and truer eye color whenever you do that, when you use an eye primer. So these eyeshadows I'm going to use are these. I need to get me some more blush. So I'm going to do, now this is kind of my quick routine. I like to use a light color eyeshadow to begin with. That's going to be that one. And so, I guess I'll use a mirror. Apply it to the brow bone, or just, yeah, right here in this brow area and all over, making sure to get into the inside corners of your eye as well. Because when you have a light color right here, then it's going to brighten up the area, keep it lighter, and then sweep it on the top by your eyebrow. Okay? Then next, now I go a little bit out of order than maybe others, but because the blending is a big part of eyeshadows, I like to go with the darker one next for my crease. Then whenever I use my eyelid cover one, the mid-tone, I like to put that on last so that I'm able to use that to blend into the darker shades so it doesn't have that huge pop that I don't want. Sometimes whenever I'm just going out and about for the daytime, at nighttime I like to add more of that dark dramatic color in order to give me that drama. So I'm going to use a little bit of my chocolatey light color. So you put it down in that crease area, going upwards. One of the things too, especially with hooded eyelids, is that you don't ever want to make it point downwards, because it actually will bring the look of your eyeshadows downward. But there's several times I have to look with my eyes sitting at its normal, like that, because if I don't, if I just put it on like regular over here, and then when I look up, it looks completely gone out of my eye. So having hooded eyelids, you have to go a little bit higher than maybe you would have normally felt comfortable with if you didn't have hooded eyelids. So up like that, and then I'm going to put it on my other side, into the crease, going upwards a little. Okay. All right. So then I like to use, my mid-tone is more of a rose gold color. So I'm going to apply that on. I'll show you the rose gold color is that one mid-tone right here. Whoop, trying to figure out, there we go. Mid-tone right there. And then I sweep it on the whole eyelid itself. And then I make sure to go up into the darker shade in order to tone it down a little bit, but also to aid in the blending so there's not a harsh dark line in there. So using my rose gold, I soften up this, putting little circles in. Don't want to drag it around on the eyelid. It just puts more stress on it. Lots of blending. So like that. Other side. Put on the whole eyelid, making sure to blend it with my dark shades so it keeps it from being harsh looking. Okay, so that's with the eyeshadows with the eye primer. So it makes my eyeshadows look brighter. It looks like the color it's supposed to be, so truer. And then with the eyeshadows I use, they last for 12 hours. So this even maintains the true color through that 12 hours. So next we're going to use an eyelash primer. So eyelash primers are great because one, it makes your eyelashes, it makes your mascara last longer for one. Two, it has a conditioning agent in there that's going to hydrate, moisturize your eyelashes, using some vitamin B in there, and that's going to help strengthen those eyelashes as well, so that you're going to have less falling out. But the extra bonus, at least of this eyelash primer, is that you can, because it's got a clear formula to it, when you apply it on your eyelashes, if you just want a natural look and you don't want to have, you know, mascara on top of that, that's fine. It's got colorless, so you've got that, it shows your natural color much better. So before I do that, I am going to get my eyeliner on just because I think I look funny without it. So now lately, I have been going a little bit thicker on my eyeliner, especially towards the outer third. I watched a movie the other day, and it was kind of based in the 60s, and she had just this really thick line there, and of course the cat eye, and I do, or has a wing to it, so I'm working on my wings as well. But in order to kind of get that look, it had a much thicker eyeliner to it, and I just found that I think it looks really pretty on me. So give it a try, where you put your eyeliner, you know, wider down here and thin towards the middle. Okay, so now we're going to use the lash primer. So when you use this lash primer, it looks like this. It's got a white formula right now, but then once you put it on, it's going to be clear when it dries. This one has a dual brush to it, so it's got these cotton fibers that's going to help suck up that primer into the brush better, so that you're going to deposit more of the product onto your eyelashes. But then it also has the stiff nylon ones in order to, you know, comb it through. So make sure to zigzag into the base of the eyelashes and pull through. Okay, get a little bit more in there. And also never pump your eyelash, your mascara, even your eyeliners, because, or your, your primer, because it pumps air into it, and it's going to make your product dry out faster, and therefore you're going to notice more flaking and crumbling and that such thing. Now, when it comes to the lash primer, before it dries, you need to put your mascara on. So I'm going to put my mascara on. Okay. That's what it looks like now between the two. All right, there you go. There's your eyelashes. So I'm gonna just swipe on a little bit of my brows. I like to keep my eyebrows very simple. I don't draw them on very much. If I had to, mine are quite thick as it is, so to add more on there's not my usual. But I use a brow tint, and so the brow tint I just kind of comb through. It's got this little tiny mascara wand on it. So I brush it all upwards and then just kind of swipe it over to the side. Because if you can get them looking up and over, it brings your eyelids up. So if you feel like it just that your eyebrows look like they're kind of drooping into your eye, having your eyebrows, you know, pointed upwards, and that way it's going to make it look wider. Okay, so next we're gonna do our face. So one of the bonus, well, this one is my primer, and I love my primer because I always like to think of my primer on my face as something to help spackle in my pores. So I just get a little bit, probably about a pea-sized amount, and then apply it to my whole face. Now, when I say spackle, think of your face as like an orange, okay? The little dimpling that an orange has. So whenever you put a swipe of foundation or concealer onto an orange peel, it starts to settle into those little dimples, and it's going to show up easier whenever you're looking at it. With the little shadows that kind of go on there, you'll notice those dimples more because it's filling in those holes. So whenever you use a primer, it acts as that spackle. So you apply it to the orange peel, or in this case your face. It's going to spackle over your pores, any uneven skin tone type stuff going on, and then whenever you apply your foundation and and if you use a concealer, it sits on top of the primer instead of settling into those little pores, and therefore your face looks smoother, looks more flawless. This particular primer has light reflecting capabilities in there, so it makes it kind of have a softened look. And another added bonus, especially because I'm more on the oil side, is that it actually has microspheres in there that will help to absorb additional oil throughout the day. Now, another thing I use, because I have lots of red patches on here because of my rosacea, is this green stick. I use green will help to counteract reds. So I use this green stick. I just kind of swipe a few swipes onto my redness areas. Thinking cat right now. Like that. Okay, so you can see my greenness. And then I just kind of slightly blend it into my cheeks. So you can already see how it's got a little bit, it helps to minimize some of the redness on this side. Okay, so then I apply on my foundation. So I've got a one of these sponges. So it's slightly damp, so you get it wet, and then you wring it out really well, and then you just kind of put this on. What's nice about these sponges is that, one, it's got a large area base in order to apply your foundation on with, but because it's got a pointed end, whenever you want to get into the eye area better, this point will help you get more on target to where you're wanting to go. Now, besides this blending sponge, I also like to use a blending brush at times. Ours has like, several thousand bristles on it. So also I put my foundation on my hand and then pick it up with my applicator from there. Now, I like to use a foundation that has buildable coverage. I also have a tendency, or I've been wanting to use my cream to powder more frequently, That can help to minimize a lot of any sort of imperfections on your face. It's going to be the thickest option. I'm using a liquid foundation right now. All right, so that helped minimize all my redness and make everything more smooth. All right. Okay, so then lastly, because I wanted to make this a little bit quicker video and focus more on the primer, I'm not going to go into my contouring or my blush at this point in time, just to help save on some time. But I did want to finish off with a lip primer. Lip primer is great because you can find many that have like an age-fighting ingredients in there, but whether you're a smoker or, in my case, I use a straw all the time whenever I drink, or at least I like to, because cold makes my teeth hurt. So I have to pucker more frequently because of using that straw. And whenever you pucker more, especially those who are smokers, because you're puckering on that your cigarette, you start to get these little feathery lines all around the lip line, and your lip color can start to bleed into those feathered lines and start to make your lips look older. Well, just the lipstick itself doesn't look great because it's feathering out, but having those lines there in general are going to make you look older. So I like to use a lip primer. So with this lip primer, you just apply on. And when you apply it on, you make sure to go over the vermilion border, which is the line between your skin and your lip line. So that's the vermilion border. Get it on there because it's going to help to stop your lipstick from bleeding into those cracks, and then kind of help fill in any sort of feathered cracks that you might have. And then lipstick or lip gloss wise, this is going to make your lipstick last much longer. It's going to make it tougher so that you're able to eat and drink without as much wear off as you normally would without a primer on. And of course it helps to condition your lips as well. It's not a replacement for, like, say, a lip balm or something like that, but this does help to moisturize your lips, but also helps, like I said, make your products last longer. So I'm going to add on my lip gloss, and in this case you're just going to be applying it to the actual lips and not beyond that vermilion border. All right, so this is my quicker look. So I hope you enjoyed, but yes, it's important to wear primers if you're wanting your makeup to last all day long. Maybe this lasts just fine for you whenever you go to work, but if you wanted to transition into night, it's definitely great to have a primer. But also if you want to wear a color that's true to what you're looking at, because there's a lot of times wherever you look at an eyeshadow and it looks so pretty in the container, and then you get up on your eyes and you're like, man, I had to apply tons of this on just to see it. And then two, in order to make it stay, you know, the eye primer is going to work best for that. Foundation primer, don't leave home without it. In fact, what's also great about foundation primer is you don't have to use it with foundation. You can actually wear it as just kind of something that smooths out your face. It helps with that light reflecting capability, so it almost gives you a light filter, you know, for pictures and whatnot, or when people look at you. So it keeps everything nice and silky smooth, and it smooths out that canvas and spackles in those areas. But if you do decide to use a foundation, it's going to last much longer. Lips, like I said, it helps to make these things last longer. I have always had a hard time with wanting to do lipsticks, because I'm like, I put it on and then I go eat breakfast and my lipstick's gone. So I have to apply it again. And then you have to apply it again after lunch. You know, and then so many times in between. So I'm like, what's the point? I'm having to put it on constantly. But if my stuff is going to last much longer by using the lip primer, then I am definitely willing to give lipsticks more of a try. So if you're interested in any of these products, please let me know. I will get you hooked up. And then if you have any questions, let me know. I'm having my Q&A tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Time. So that's going to be on my blog. And then, or on my Facebook page. It'll be on the business page. And then, let's see here. On Thursdays, I also have a special VIP exclusive group for my Happy Skin Hour folks. And so people come there and I do product of the week, and I get together my, well, coming up soon is going to be holiday shopping, and then in those places you can also get deals and be able to get a hold of me that way as well. So if you need to get a hold of me, you can go to Facebook. I'm also on Pinterest. I'm on Instagram, and of course YouTube. So if you like my video, please like it and subscribe and click the notification bell so it lets you know when the next one's coming. And I hope you have a great evening. Oh, and if you ever want to check out my blog, it's ChristinaRichardsOnline.com. All right, thank you. Bye.